This is the Michael Myers fanatic. I'm here to talk to you guys a little bit about the 2002 movie Halloween Resurrection. I'm gonna defend this movie to my dying day, and I mean that. I'm gonna defend it until the end of time, in the words of the famous rapper Tupac. I'm gonna defend this movie because it was a good movie, and I'm gonna tell you what I think about it. First of all, I saw this movie on July 13th of 2002. I begged for money to go see this movie. I really did. It was my first and only movie in theaters. But you know what? I have no regrets, because to me, the franchise ended on a high note. I don't care what anybody else says. I don't drink the Kool-Aid that you drink, and I don't go along with the crowd. Everyone else whined and complained about this movie. Well, you got your wish, because they're not making any more films. So what do you think about that? You got what you asked for. You want to whine and complain about it instead of just enjoying the movie. Now, let's get started. Here are some key points with Halloween Resurrection. Some of these are facts, and some of it is my opinion. Here's the first key point of Halloween Resurrection. They weren't ready for a black actor. They made Busta Rhymes the lead role in Halloween Resurrection. And even in 2002, it's quite clear to me that audiences weren't ready for an African American lead, whether they want to admit it or not. Busta Rhymes came in as the stereotypical black character, came in looking unkempt, using foul language, came in saying things like motherfucker, and using fuck in every other sentence, therefore making Busta Rhymes look like an asshole. Some people say that Busta Rhymes wanted to do all this stuff himself, and some people say it was all part of the script. The next thing I want to point out, I believe that they didn't like Busta Rhymes because he fit the stereotype a little too well. Busta Rhymes was a black stereotype. LL Cool J was black, but he wasn't what you would say Busta Rhymes black. LL Cool J was a smooth talker, a kind of Casanova character, where Busta Rhymes was rough around the edges, more like a quote-unquote thug. So as I stated, Busta Rhymes was made to look like an asshole. That was the problem with Halloween Resurrection. Next, I want to point out a conspiracy theory. It's common among Halloween fans to say that when Michael Myers handed the knife to Harold the Clown, played by the late Gus Lynch, he was trying to frame him for the murder of Laurie Strode. Here's what a fan site had to say about the bloody knife from Halloween Resurrection. Quote, "During his exit from the institution, Michael gave Harold his butcher knife as a memento of his status as a famous serial killer." So you see, he wasn't trying to frame Harold. I'll read it again. During his exit from the institution, Michael gave Harold his butcher knife as a memento of his status as a famous serial killer. He was giving Harold something to remember him by. Let's define the word memento. Memento, souvenir, an object given or kept as a reminder or in memory of somebody or something. Do you hear that, audience? An object given or kept as a reminder or in memory of somebody or something. Michael Myers wanted Harold to remember him, so he gave him the knife. Do you understand? Because Harold the Clown was obsessed with serial killers. Here's another thing I want to point out that you commonly bitch about. Busta Rhymes doing karate. Listen to me. Busta Rhymes was using what he knew. That's all he knows is karate. He was a martial arts student. Apparently, he had been studying martial arts. So he used what he knew. People just bitched about Busta Rhymes, and yet, if Chuck Norris would have come in and started kicking the shit out of Michael Myers, you would all be giggling like a bunch of schoolgirls. And you know it. This goes back to what I was saying about you not being ready for an African American lead character. Yes, LL Cool J was in H2O, but he wasn't the lead. Jamie Lee Curtis was. The only reason they put her name at the top of the cast was to get people to see the movie. Bottom line, I want to point out again, Michael gave Harold that knife as a reminder of what he had done. He wanted Harold to remember him. Next up, you complained about Laurie Strode, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, dying too soon. Well, my friends, the Michael Myers fanatic is here to tell you she had to leave sooner or later. Your expectations were a little too high. Bottom line, you expected too much from her. She came back for H2O. This Michael versus Laurie shit was really getting old. I'm sorry, but it was. They wanted a new story, and I applaud them for it. She wanted to leave anyway. She didn't care about what the fans wanted. I'm old school, okay? I am. You don't give a fuck about me, I don't care about you. I don't. She don't care enough to stay for me, so if she wanted to leave, let her leave. Good riddance. Goodbye. See ya. Hasta la vista. Hasta luego. Hasta mañana. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. I don't care. Because if you don't care about me, I don't care about you. That's the way I am. She wanted to leave. So they thought of a way for her to leave. They had Michael Myers kill her. Because Michael Myers can't be killed. So either she was going to kill him or he was going to kill her. But Michael Myers cannot be killed. So obviously he had to kill her. So that just debunks that little crybaby fest right there. You can cry all you want, but Michael Myers is immortal. So he had to kill her. That's why that happened. The last thing I want to point out. I'm sorry that you guys didn't like this movie. And what makes it really sad is that it's the only time, this is the last time we'll ever see Michael Myers in the original universe. We're not going to see him anymore. This is it. This is the last time, this is the final movie that we will ever see Michael Myers in. Because now they got the franchise all screwed up. Now they're doing a sequel to Halloween 2. So this is the final Halloween movie in the original continuity. That's it. And I think it ended on a good note because Michael Myers opened his eyes. So I like the way they left it. Even though I want them to finish it, it ended on a good note. I liked Resurrection. I'm sorry you didn't. Too bad for you. Because like I said, it's the last movie you're ever gonna get. And by the way, don't think that Resurrection was a forced sequel. It was never forced. If you go back and look at the footage from the H2O collector's DVD, you'll hear Mustafa say that obviously we're gonna do an 8 and 9. He had planned on making part 8 from day one. Even Chris Duran said it. So it was never the final movie. Who do you think I'm gonna believe? The fans or Mustafa Akkad and Chris Duran? Two people that were actually involved with H2O. Make your choice. Who do you think I'm gonna believe? Certainly not you. You think it's a conspiracy behind Michael giving Harold a knife. When it wasn't. It was just a memento. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Anyway, I'm sorry you didn't enjoy Resurrection. I did. It was a pleasure to see it in theaters on July 13th, 2002. I'm the Michael Myers fanatic. I approve this message. Halloween Resurrection, the best horror sequel of all time. Possibly even better than 6. I'm out.